going to talk to you about easy fundraising and how it works. As Rich said, and some of you here are brand new to easy fundraising, some of you are already with us. So first section, I'm just going to recap on what easy fundraising is all about, how it works, do you a very quick demo of the site, and then I'm going to talk through some ways that you can really make the most of easy fundraising and a couple of new things that might have happened since you last kind of came to one of these sessions. And actually you're joining us today on a day one of our rebrand. So those of you that are already with easy fundraising, you will notice that our logo is different and our colour is different. So yeah, we rebranded yesterday. Everything remains the same apart from the look and feel. We've tried to make it a little friendlier and a little more celebrating our causes. So easy fundraising. I'm going to start, if I can get my screen to work, with a couple of questions. Do you shop online? And does your organisation need funds? So I'm hoping that most of you are thinking, yes, I do shop online, or I know someone that does. And the fact that you're here tells me that your organisation probably does need some funds. I mean, we could all do with a little extra when we can. So that's what easy fundraising does. It turns online shopping into funds for your third sector organisation. I'll get on to how it all works, but I thought I'd give you a bit of information about us. So we've been doing this for 15 years. Started back in 2007. We were a kitchen table enterprise back in the day. It literally was a couple of us around a kitchen table. So we've been doing it a long time. We are members of the Institute of Fundraising, so you can be assured that we do take your fundraising really seriously. Also members of LCVS. And today, about 42 million has been raised through the platform for good causes entirely for free. And as Rich said, we're partnered with Liverpool CVS and a number of other infrastructure organisations like Liverpool around the country. And we do this to make sure that we can let third sector groups in each region know how you can tap into free funding. So how does it work? So it's a website, as you may have guessed. It's a free online fundraising platform. We have about 170,000 good causes that use easy fundraising at the moment. And the way that it works is that your organisation will get monetary donations when your supporters do their normal online shopping. So by organisation, I really mean any third sector organisation. You don't need to be a charity. You can be a grassroots under 12s sports club. You can be a church. You can be a food bank. You can be a school PTA. You can be a brownie unit. You can be a self-help group. You can be anything. Our proviso is really that you just have to be for good. You're doing something that's helping other people within the community. And by supporters, I really mean anybody that would like to help you raise money. So that can be you, obviously, yourself, your staff if you have them, volunteers if you have them, service users, ex-service users, people within your community, your own family and friends, anyone that shops online and would like to help your cause can do so. And I'll show you exactly how it works in a minute, but I just wanted to just touch on what Rich said, which is the money that you raise through easy fundraising is unrestricted funding. So you can use it for whatever you want. It isn't like applying for a grant where you then have to use it for a specific project. If you just want to use it to keep the lights on or to stock the tea bags in the staff room, we don't mind. You don't have to say to us what you're using it for. We will trust that you're using it for good. It's also unrestricted in that there isn't an end point. So it isn't like a crowdfunder. So it's not like you are raising a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. We've been, as I said, we've been going since 2007, and we have causes that have been raising with us since 2007. So you use us for as long as you need us. And there's no cap on how much you can raise as well. It isn't like if you get to a certain amount, we're then going to say, that's it now, no more. You keep going for as long as you want and raise as much as you need. So it's unrestricted in all senses. And it is something as well that should complement the other funding and fundraising that you do. So you can carry on doing anything else that you're doing and also do easy fundraising. It's entirely online. It's something that should tick along nicely in the background, and there's no restriction. It's not like if you're doing easy fundraising, you then can't apply for grants. Anything else you want to do, you carry on and do those. Easy fundraising is just part of your funding portfolio. So, and people can support you really easily without it costing them anything extra, because Easy Fundraising is an entirely free platform, and I'll show you now kind of how it actually works. So first of all, you register your organisation with us. It's free. We'll just take you a couple of minutes to do that, and we will then create an Easy Fundraising page on our site for you. And you then ask your volunteers, your staff, your supporters, whoever you'd like, think that might help you, to whenever they want to shop online, instead of going straight to the online retailer that they want to shop with, so let's use Marks and Spencer's as an example, instead of going straight to Marks and Spencer's website, all they do is access Marks and Spencer's through the Easy Fundraising site. So they click on the Marks and Spencer's link on our site, we send them to Marks and Spencer's, they carry on then and shop completely as normally, but because they've started at Easy Fundraising, the brand that they've shopped with will donate a certain percentage of what the shopper has spent back to your organisation at no extra cost. So if that shopper was planning to spend £50 at Marks and Spencer's, they will still just spend £50, but Marks and Spencer's will donate. It will vary. Retailers donate between about 0.5% and 10%. Each retailer has a different retailer donation amount, but say it's 2%. 2% of that £50 goes to your good cause at no extra cost to the shopper, and crucially no cost to you either. So there's no fee for being involved with Easy Fundraising. There's no monthly charges or running costs or anything like that. So what it is a way of just tapping into that online shopping that everybody is doing anyway. And online shopping has grown year on year on year since we started back in 2007. It's a whole different landscape now. And most retailers that are on the high street also have an online presence. So let me just get my computer to work. So here's just a very small snapshot of our retailers. There are over 7,000. But it's all of the main retailers that your supporters and you are shopping with anyway, and lots and lots of other retailers that you might not shop with regularly, but they're there when you do want to shop with them. So it isn't about asking your supporters to do something that they weren't going to do. It's not about asking them to spend more or buy more, because heaven knows at the moment everyone's watching their pennies. So it isn't about saying to supporters, buy, buy, buy. It's purely about saying, if you're going to make that online purchase anyway, if you do it through Easy Fundraising, our cause will benefit at no extra cost to you. So I'll just do you a really quick demo of how it works if you're a shopper. So you'll get a peek at our new logo, etc. So this is the Easy Fundraising site. I'm logged in supporting my cause, which is Home Start Birmingham North West, and you can see at all time they've raised £900. All time I've raised £1,200. I've raised some for a previous cause, and now I'm raising for Home Start. But if I want to shop, all I do is I just type up here the name of the retailer I want to shop with. I usually use John Lewis as an example. I don't know why, I just do. So I type in John. Anything that matches the word John will come up, and if I click John Lewis and Partners, it will then take me firstly to this page. This is the John Lewis page on the Easy Fundraising site. And it's telling me that up to 2% of what I spend today is going to go to my good cause. So 0.5% if I buy an Apple, Android, smart or telephony product, 2% anything else I spend. So if I click on this, shop now, any of these buttons do the same job. Click shop now, takes me to John Lewis. I then just shop completely as normally. If I have an account with John Lewis, I can log in the normal way. I'm not shopping with Easy Fundraising, I'm shopping with John Lewis. Everything now remains the same, apart from the fact that depending on what I buy, I'm going to raise a donation for, let me just close that down, for my cause at the same time. The other way that you can use the site is just look at our categories. If you're not sure necessarily who you want to shop with, you can look at our categories. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is a little bit slow today. These are all of our categories of retailer down here, so you can just say I want to book a holiday, I could go to travel. And these are all of the retailers that I could shop with in travel. I'm going to choose holiday package. I've just come back off holiday and I'd actually like to book something for next year because I've got the post-holiday blues. So if I come here, then I can see all of the different retailers that I could maybe shop with and their donation rates. So if I click Thomas Cook, again, it takes me here. 1% of anything I spend with Thomas Cook today is going to go back to my good cause. So that's how it works. Really straightforward, really easy. So as I say, it really isn't about getting people to spend more or buy things they're not buying anyway. It is just about tapping into that shopping that they're already doing. So there are a couple of other ways that you can also use easy fundraising. We've tried to make it as easy as possible, no pun intended, to make sure that you can shop and raise and your supporters can shop and raise in however they use the internet. So we also have an app which you can download to your, it's available for Android and iOS. You download it to your iPad or your pad or your phone, and you can simply shop via your phone or your iPad. Just again, searching for the retailer on the Easy Fundraising app, we send you to the retailer, you shop as normal. So you can also use the app. That's really good for those sort of purchases you might make on the go. If you suddenly think, oh, I need to buy this, you could quickly do that while you're out and about or while you're sitting on the sofa in the evening watching the telly. We have retailers like Just Eat and Domino's and Uber Eats and things like that. They're really good on the app because that is the sort of thing you might do as a bit of a, oh, I'm quickly going to order myself a pizza. We've also got something that here is called the browser extension, which is a bit of a mouthful, but really what it's also known as our donation reminder. So if you download the donation reminder to your laptop or your desktop, and now also for your phone, I'll come on to that in a minute. What it does is if you've forgotten to go to the Easy Fundraising site before accessing a retailer, the donation reminder will know that you are an Easy Fundraising shopper and that the retailer you're shopping with is an Easy Fundraising partner retailer, and it will allow you to collect that donation. So let me show you what I mean. So if I just open a new browser, so I'm not in Easy Fundraising now, and I'm just going to type Marks and Spencer's. So I haven't gone through Easy Fundraising, I'm just going straight to Marks and Spencer's. I'm hoping this is going to work for me. Yeah, there you go. So because I've got the donation reminder installed, it knows that I've forgotten, basically. So if I just click that button, it logs me into my Easy Fundraising account in the background, keeps me on Marks and Spencer's, I can carry on shopping and I won't miss out on a donation. So it's a really useful tool to have because you might forget sometimes, and your supporters might forget, or you might go to a retailer without even realising that they're an Easy Fundraising retailer. There are over 7,000 retailers, so I don't know them all. So you might end up going to a retailer without thinking, I must go through Easy Fundraising. And if it's an Easy Fundraising partner retailer, you'll get that message. So definitely download the donation reminder. Just make sure that you won't miss any donations. The other thing that donation reminder does is if you are just searching for a product in Google, so if I do sofa and in Google, if there's any retailers that are partnered with us that you could buy a sofa from, it will give you a little notification here. So if I scroll down, you should see some more. So Wayfair telling me, look, it's a donation available. So again, you just click that, takes me to Wayfair, logs me in the background to my Easy Fundraising account, and I won't miss out on a donation. So there's a few different ways you can use the Easy Fundraising site. Oh, let me just go back to my screen. So yeah, we have the app, which I mentioned, and the donation reminder, which I've just gone through. Now, for those of you that are already with us, you might not know that the donation reminder used to only be for laptops and desktops. You downloaded it to your computer and then it would work. We had lots of people saying to us, oh, but I could really do with it on my phone as well, because what if I go to a retailer on my phone and I forget to go through Easy Fundraising? So we have now developed it for phones. It doesn't work for Android phones yet. We are still working on that. But for all Apple iOS phones and iPads, You can, as long as you have our app, you can also have the donation reminder on your phone. So what that means is if you are shopping from your phone, you don't even need to remember to go through Easy Fundraising. You can literally just type in the search for the retailer on your phone and the donation reminder will work. So it's a bit of a game changer really, because it does mean that people are just not missing out on any donations now. So that would be my advice to you, is to get the donation reminder and get your supporters to download it as well. I thought I'd just cover off a few FAQs at the midway point, because there might be things that you're thinking that you're not sure about the answer to. So I'll cover them off now. So you don't have to be a charity to use Easy Fundraising. I get asked this a lot. You don't have to be a charity. You just have to be for good. We have a team here, and when you register your cause with us, we will just check that you exist. We want to make sure that that people aren't registering fake organisations or anything like that. They'll just check that you do exist. It might be they'll want to see that you have a Facebook page or a website, or they can find evidence that you exist, but you don't have to be a charity. That's the key thing. It will not cost you anything to use Easy Fundraising, and it won't cost your supporters anything either. It always has been, and it always will be free. We are funded by the retailers. That's how we keep Easy Fundraising free. So we get a commission from the retailers when your supporters shop, and that's entirely separate to the donation that your cause gets. So don't worry about that. But that's how we're funded. So we doesn't need to cost you anything or your supporters. You'll be paid your donations that you and your supporters raise every 3 months. We will total up everything that's been raised for you, and we'll send it directly to your good cause. So when you register your cause with us, one of the things we will ask you in the first few weeks is, how would you like us to pay those donations to you? So we can pay you by bank transfer straight into your cause bank account. You have to have a cause bank account. You can't put in personal payee details. It has to be a cause bank account. Or we can pay you by cheque. We were going to not bother with cheques, but actually we do have causes that still use cheques. So if that's you and you need a cheque, that's fine. You can have a cheque from us. You just have to have raised £15 in the quarter, in the 3 months, to trigger a payment. If you haven't, don't worry, you won't lose it. It will just roll into the next quarter. You'll never lose any donations. And as soon as you've hit that £15 mark in the next payment run, you'll get your payment paid directly to your good cause. It doesn't go to your supporters and they give it to you. It goes directly to your good cause. So if you're not already registered with us, this is how to do it. So if you go to this link, easyfundraising.org.uk/LCVS. Now we set up this page just so we know which organisations that are involved with Liverpool CVS register with us. So by registering through this page, you're not registering to raise money for LCVS. You're registering your own cause. It's just so that I know that you're part of the LCVS community. The page you go to will look like this, and you simply type the name of your cause in there and click sign us up. We'll then ask you a few bits and bobs of information. We'll ask you for your name, your email address, and you need to put a password to create a password. You can then put in a bit of information about your cause if you want to, and a logo. You don't have to. You can come back and do that at a later date if you would prefer to. Once you've just filled in a bit of information, we will create a page on our site for you, and it will look like this. So this is a genuine cause that are raising with us. You can see they've raised £852. And then the next thing you want to do is you've registered your cause, and then you want your supporters to come along and choose you as this cause that they're going to support. So you send them the link to this page. They will see this. They click sign up and support this cause. They only have to do that once. And once they've done that, they are a registered supporter of yours, and we know that's who they support. They only need to put a name, an email address, and a password in. Don't need to put their address in. They don't need to put any payment details in because they're not shopping with us. Don't need their inside leg measurement. Don't need their mother's maiden name. Just name and an email address so we can connect them to you. Once they've done that, they're a supporter of yours. Every time they use the site or the donation reminder or the app, then they will be raising money for you. So how do you do that? How do you get your supporters involved? So we know that you guys are really busy. People in the third sector inevitably have lots of hats on at any given time. You're often involved with more than one cause. Fundraising often isn't your main role within the organisation. So we've tried to just give you as much support as you feel like you need. So first of all, you can have free phone support from from one of our Easy Fundraising coaches here. So they're a team that work here. And when you first register, if you want to, you can book a time for one of them to give you a call at a time to suit you. If you just want 5 minutes to ask a couple of questions, that's fine. If you need half an hour to go through it in more detail, that's also fine. You'll get asked when you register your cause if you would like to book a call. Don't have to book it there and then. You come back and book it at a later date if you want to, but it's really worth having, because they can do a screen share, they can guide you around the site, anything you need to know. And the other thing we have is free fundraising toolkit to help you tell your supporters, to help you get them to your page. I'm quickly going to show it to you, and then I'm going to get into kind of some of the top tips on how to raise as much as possible. So once you're on the site, you'll see this button here, Promote My Cause. And here you've got your fundraising toolkit. So this should make it as easy as possible for you to tell your supporters that you've registered with Easy Fundraising, get them to your page, get them signed up, and keep them raising. So if I just use here as an example, get started, you're brand new, you've just registered. Firstly, here you can book a call if you want to. And secondly, what we've got here is some ready written content that you can share. And so I'll use Facebook as an example. So it's a ready written Facebook post here that explains what it's all about. You'll see that it is automatically populated there with the name of your cause. So it says Home Stop Birmingham Northwest because that's my cause. For you, it will say your cause name. And crucially, what it will also have here is the link that they need to go to click that button to say support this cause. So all you need to do is copy that, click post to Facebook. I'm not going to do that now because my Wi-Fi is a little unstable today, but it will basically open into Facebook with a nice image. You copy your wording in there, you've shared that out. Same for Twitter, same for WhatsApp. Somebody told me recently that they always communicate with their supporters through WhatsApp because nobody ever ignores a WhatsApp message, which I thought was very true. There's also a ready written email here. So maybe that's how you communicate with your supporters. You email them. So again, you can just copy that, populate it with the name of your cause, populate with your link. You could also, if you wanted to create a page on your website, perhaps you have a website, you could go here and there's text about Easy Fundraising, there's images, there's all sorts of things to help you put some information on your own website. We've also got things like posters and flyers. So maybe you've got an event coming up and you'd like to give out some flyers about getting people involved with Easy Fundraising. You can do that here. We have also got how-to videos, which explains really simply how it all works. Easy Fundraising explained in 60 seconds. It's a really nice one. You can share that out by social media or in an email. There's tons of information here, but the crucial thing is it should all be bespoke for you. This month's messages is quite a nice one as well. So this month's messages is where we will always put new information that you might want to share with your supporters. So at the moment we have a little shop to win giveaway. So if people shop through the Easy Fundraising site, they get entered into a draw to win a variety of prizes. There's information about the donation reminder. There's information about supermarket donations, which I'm going to come to in a minute. So here you will always find new things that you can share with your supporters to keep them raising for you. So I'm not going to go through all of this today because there's a lot in there. So if I just go back to my slides. But one thing to say about that area as well is any of your supporters who have registered to support you on Easy Fundraising will also have access to that area. So it doesn't just need to be you that shares those social posts or prints off the flyers. They will also have access to it, and it will also be populated with the right information for your cause for them. So do feel free to share the load with people. If perhaps you've got somebody that does your social media posts, providing they've registered to support you, they've got access to all of that. So it doesn't just need to be you. So I'm going to go through now sort of the best practice tips for raising more, sort of some new things that we've kind of got at the moment, that that might help you raise a little bit more. These are some of the things that some of our causes have told us work really well for them. One thing I am going to say actually before I carry on is we've got a competition at the moment, which I mentioned, but also in October we're going to be running a competition that is really just for the organisations involved with LCVS and other infrastructure organisations. And that competition is going to be the chance to win either a £500 donation or one of 5 £100 donations. And that's going to be running in October. I'm going to be sending Rich some information about that to share with you all. But all you're going to need to do to enter that competition is register with us if you're not already registered, or if you've already registered, hopefully after today's session you'll go off and register. All you need to do is have raised 3 donations amongst all of your supporters in October, and you'll go into a draw to win either £500 or one of 5 £100. So that's a nice thing we've got coming up, and it isn't for all the 170,000 causes. It's just for the youth third sector organisations that are connected with people like LCVS and MAC over in Manchester and people like that. So you've got a really good chance of winning it. So this is a really good opportunity to raise. So it's grocery shopping, and this is something that's changed recently. So if you're already with us, you might have already seen that you could raise donations when you've shopped online with supermarkets. But for a long time, it has been that you could only raise donations from supermarkets if you were making your first ever purchase with them. And we didn't think that was fair. So we've been working really closely with all of the leading supermarkets, and they will all give donations every time somebody does an online grocery shop with them. So that's big. If someone is shopping weekly, doing their online shopping with Sainsbury's or Asda or Tesco's or Morrison's, Waitrose, Ocado, I think I've missed one, they'll get a donation every time. So this is what the donation rates are looking like at the moment. So Sainsbury's, if you're making your first ever purchase with Sainsbury's, you'll get £6 donation. But if you're already shopping with them, every time you do that grocery shop, you'll raise £2. So if that means somebody is raising over £100 for you in a year if they shop weekly at Sainsbury's. Morrison's is £150, Waitrose £250, Tesco's £250 for a first, 50p for existing. So really everyone, all of these retailers will donate, and this is something that people can really understand well, I find, because so many people do their grocery shopping online now. So sometimes people might say, oh, I don't really shop online that much. But then you'll say, oh, do you do groceries? Oh yeah, I order my groceries online every week. Great, that's all you need. You can raise a donation. So just a couple of people doing that from Sainsbury's, say 2 people, that's over £200 raised for you in a year. These donation rates will fluctuate. Sometimes they'll go up, sometimes they'll go down, sometimes they have increased donations, but you will always be able to get a donation now from these retailers. It's a really good opportunity. In Promote My Cause, you will find wording to help you tell your supporters about this, and even if that's the only thing they do, this is a great way to really help them raise. And as I say, it's a new thing. We only were able to offer donations on all existing purchases from a couple of months ago. So it's a big deal, and it's really making a big difference for a lot of causes. Big donations, we call this. So most of our retailers will give you a certain percentage of what the shopper spends. So 1%, 2%, 3%, varies from retailer to retailer. But there are some retailers where you are taking a contract with them, so they don't know how much you're going to spend with them. So the examples here: insurance, broadband, mobile. So if you're taking a car insurance policy or a mobile policy as an example, they don't necessarily know how much you might spend across the term of your contract, so they can't accurately give it you as a percentage. So instead, they will give you a one-off donation when you take a new policy. Has to be a new policy. There are a couple that will give it you on renewals, but for most of them, it's a new policy. So for example, if I just flip back to the site again, actually, I can show you what I mean. So if I go to shop by category again, and I'm going to go to insurance, and then I'm going to go to, oops, sorry. Oh, why is that playing up for me? Sorry, that's me clicking around wildly. If I just go, if I can go to insurance, that's the one. Oh, sorry, I don't know what is wrong with my screen. It keeps flicking up and down. Bear with me. So if I go to insurance in a moment, then I go, that's it. Then I go to car insurance. You will see these are retailers that will give a donation, a one-off donation when you first take a policy out with them. So as an example here, Go Compare, £17 donation. AA Car Insurance, £10 donation. I'm not going to go through them all. Ensley, nearly £20 donation. So these are the things that people do online. We don't go to high street brokers anymore to do insurance and things like that. We do them online. So with that Ensley example, £19, if 5 people doing that in a year and you've raised nearly £100, and it's car insurance, home insurance, travel, pet, even things like wedding insurance. We've got all of the broadband providers, mobiles, even utilities. So very topical right now, we have some utility providers, things like Uswitch. They will all give you a one-off larger donation when somebody takes a new policy. This is a great way to raise more. It's a very boring thing to buy, your insurance. Nobody likes it. No one gets any joy out of, taking a new home insurance policy, but it can raise donations for you. And although it is only on new policies, not existing, so if you're renewing, you won't get a donation from this type of retailer. It is an opportunity to save a bit of money because you tend to get a better price when you are taking a new policy out with a retailer like this. So actually, for your supporters, it's an opportunity to perhaps save a bit of money on going with a new provider and raising some donations at the same time. Again, you'll find wording in Promote My Cause called Big Donations, and it will explain this. So up to £150, we've taken kind of an average. If somebody was doing a home, a car, broadband and mobile across a year, then it works out to they could be raising £150 for you. Travel's also a really good one. So you saw me demonstrate the travel category. Lots and lots of travel retailers. More added all the time as well, which is really crucial. So a really good one that we have at the moment is booking.com, very, very popular. I think their donation at the moment is 4%, which is an increase. So people spend about £1,500–1,600 on an annual holiday. A family will, that's how much they'll spend. So 4% of that is a significant amount. Even 1% of that is a decent amount. And people are traveling more. Rich and I were just chatting before this about the holidays. We've been able to go on this year, having had 2 years of nobody really going anywhere. People are booking holidays again. They've still got their eyes on on their pockets, because people are finding a bit of a pinch at the moment. But we are seeing travel bookings going up. You will find this time of the year, when people come back from their summer holiday, people will be thinking about booking next year's holiday. Often retailers will have really good deals at this time of year, free child places, £200 off your next holiday. They want you to book now. So you will find your supporters are thinking about holidays. Another key time for holidays is January. People come back from Christmas, January blues, they'll book holidays. It's not just foreign holidays that we have lots of. Cottage holidays, things like Travelodge. We also have things like Trainline, coaches, ferries, all sorts of holidays. So it isn't just your big foreign holidays. And also it's every part of your holiday can raise a donation. So we have lots of retailers that you can get your airport parking from. So people like Purple Parking, car hire, travel money, even your suntan lotion from Boots can raise a donation. So every element of your holiday. And this is a category that's grown and grown. We have more and more travel retailers being added all the time. So again, if you're relatively, if you've already used this a little for a while, you might find now that there are even more travel retailers on board. And it's just a good opportunity. If you're chatting to someone and they happen to say, oh yeah, I'm thinking of booking a holiday, just say to them, actually, all of the leading retailers that you can book from are on Easy Fundraising, all of the flights, all of the airlines. So again, I don't want to sort of keep stressing this, but it is not about encouraging people to spend what they can't afford. It's just about thinking, okay, they're going to buy something anyway, so perhaps they could help us out at the same time. And business as well. So you can raise money when you are buying for business. So by that I mean, do you need to buy things for your own cause? Do you have running costs? Do you have a small office that you run for your cause, or do volunteers need to travel, or does somebody need a new laptop? Just think about the things that you're buying for your cause, because you can buy them for your cause and raise for your cause at the same time. So a good example would be Viking. They sell anything from ink and toner and paper right through to multi-packs of tea bags for the staff canteen and everything in between. They're typically a 4.5% donation. It sometimes varies. So just think, are you buying things? Maybe you've got an event coming up, actually. Perhaps you've got an event coming up and you need to buy food for it. Think about those, Sainsbury's or Tesco's. Get yourself an online order, get it delivered. Also things like Majestic Wines. Maybe you've got an event coming up that involves alcohol. Just think about all of the things that your cause does on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and think, every time you want to buy something online, think, oh, could I do this through Easy Fundraising? Because it's absolutely fine to buy it for your business, for your cause, and raise for your cause at the same time. And if you need to claim it back through expenses, that's absolutely fine. Your receipt will be exactly the same as if you had just gone straight to that retailer. It doesn't affect expenses or anything like that. Also, just have a think about your supporter base. Do you have anyone within your supporters that buys for business, travels for business, but maybe they travel regularly on Trainline or things like that? Just have a think about those people. Maybe they could do some online shopping for you. Maybe they could book those train tickets or those hotel rooms through Easy Fundraising and raise a donation for you at the same time. So why register with Easy Fundraising if you're not already registered with us? So I would say that it democratises giving, which is a fancy way of saying that anyone and everyone can help you raise funds, from that person who comes to all your events, that super keen volunteer who literally does everything. They can help you raise by also doing their online shopping, right through to that person who can't afford to give, maybe can't come to events. If they online shop, they can still help you. Everyone can help you. So it doesn't matter who they are. This money is available from the retailers. These retailers have budgets to give this money away to good causes. So make sure you're making the most of it. Make sure that money is going to you. And there really isn't anything to lose. It is only, it is a free platform. It doesn't cost you anything. Even if you just raise £50 in a year, it's £50 better off in your cause bank account than anywhere else. So you might as well. So next steps before I stop for questions is, if you're not registered with us, register at this link here, /LCVS. Perhaps we'll put it in the chat as well. Then use those free fundraising tools. So remember, we're trying to make it easy for you. Book that call with a team member if you feel like you need it. Use all your free fundraising tools. If there's other things you need, get in touch with me. If actually you think, oh, actually, it'd be really useful. Is there this? Can we do this? I have a question. Get in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to help. And take advantage of those big donations, particularly supermarkets. It's really, really key. I can't overstate it enough. It's been a game changer for some of our causes. And don't forget about that competition that we're doing next month. So get registered, and then next month, providing between you and your supporters, you've raised just 3 donations. They can be donations of 5p. You'll be entered into the competition, and you might win. You might win £500 or even £100. Last thing just to say as well is, this is my email address. I work closely with Rich on this. So if you have any questions, that's my role here, is to support you organisations within Liverpool and the area. So please don't feel you can't get in touch. So people contact me all the time, and it can be questions about, I think we might already have a course, but I'm not sure, or we might have registered and I can't remember my login details, or I'm not sure how this works, or anything. Please don't feel you can't ask. There is no question I haven't heard before, and if I can't help you, one of my colleagues will be. So do feel free to get in touch either now or in the future, because that's my role. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if we have any questions. There is one other thing that I am going to mention as well, but we'll do questions first.
Thanks for that, Becky. Just before that, I just wanted to sort of like add to that, really, that I think that we've spoke about it before today, that supermarkets thing, like you said, is a real step up for the opportunity here. While you were talking, I went to look at my own Easy Fundraising account as a private individual, and I think I've raised something like 100 myself for my good cause, but 30 quid of that came from a holiday that I booked. But when you were talking about the supermarkets, it's that incremental, regular drip of income, which is really going to make a difference in terms of my good cause, I think. And I was just running the numbers really when you were talking about the regular donations. And I think, just as an example, I think you said that Sainsbury's is £2 per shop. So over the course of a year, typically, if that was 50, because it's a weekly shop, then if you're looking at 100 of your service users or volunteers or staff that are kind of doing an online shop once a week, just as an example with Sainsbury's, that's potentially £10,000 a year across the whole year, which is an awards for all. So a lot of you as community organisations kind of think within that kind of context, £10,000 of unrestricted income a year. Even the ASDA, I know a lot more people might use the ASDA, that would be 5,000, and that's not including the larger donation that they get for their first go at it in terms of the home shop. So I think that that's something that I'm going to end up using myself more. And I think that will be something that you guys as organizations can really benefit from in terms of engaging with your service users a lot, to try and encourage them to just do the shop that they're already doing, and just get that little reminder button in the top. Sorry, I always do that when I'm pushing buttons. In the top right hand side of the screen where it says click here, if you haven't done it already. It's on my laptop all the time. So that's, for me personally, I think that's going to be a really positive one, and I hope you guys kind of like utilize that one yourselves.
Yeah, definitely. Just to say about the sorry, go on.
No, carry on.
I was just to say about the donation reminder as well. Just to say it doesn't slow computers down or anything like that, and it also isn't something that's going to give you like adverts or annoying pop-ups. It's something I got asked the other day, and I thought I should mention that it's not there to spy on you or to serve you adverts or anything like that. It's there to just make sure you collect any donations. So you don't need to worry that by asking your supporters to install it, you're setting them up for, you know, spam or ads or anything like that. That's not what it's there for. And also on that subject as well, we don't pass your information to retailers. This is something I also get asked. So again, you're not setting your supporters up to be spammed forever onwards. Without getting too boring and technical into it, when somebody clicks from our site out to a retailer, their information is encrypted, so the retailer cannot see who you are, where you live. You're basically a set of numbers. If you then go on and create an account with that retailer, that's entirely up to you, and obviously they will then have information about you, but that's entirely up to the supporter. But by using Easy Fundraising, we're not passing that information on, so then you're not putting them at risk of that, and it is all GDPR compliant as well in that sense. So that's just something that I wanted to mention that I forgot to.
Brilliant. We've got a question from Kieran. Hi, Kieran.
Hello, Kieran.
Hello. I'm actually already registered, and I've been using the donation reminder for some time, so it does really help. I didn't know about the app, and I'm really glad to hear it. So while you were talking about it, I looked on the website for it. It looks like the Android app is available.
Yeah, so there's an Android. Yeah, there is an Android app and an iOS app, so you can get them for both. The donation reminder element only is it's a bit complicated. So basically, we have the donation reminder, which works on laptops and desktops. We also have the app, which is available on Android and iOS, but you can also get the donation reminder on iOS on an Apple product, but you can't get the donation reminder on Android yet. We're just working with Android on it, but there is an Android app which works brilliantly, so you just can't get the donation reminder element on your app, Android app yet. Does that make sense?
That's much clearer, thank you.
Yeah.
So my question is, so I've been registered for a little while, and it's mostly me generating the donations. I think I might have one other person. And I have been sharing stuff on social media. And so what would you, I mean, do you have any evidence of what's the most effective way to get new people to engage?
Yeah, what's your cause, Kieran? What do you do?
It's the Open Table Network. So it's kind of, it's LGBT affirming church based communities. So we've been a charity for 18 months, but we're growing fast, and yeah, the demand is outstripping the resources.
Right, okay. So do you ever have any face-to-face type events? Because one thing that causes tell us works really well, and I have seen this in action as well, is actually demonstrating to people how it works. So I saw a really good example of this when I went to look around a senior school for my daughter some years ago, and they had a laptop set up, and they were just basically, it was the PTA, they were basically just getting the parents who came through this room to literally just demo, this is how it works. So they actually had a screen up as well, and the admin had their they had their account up, and they were going, look, here's where I raised £1.50 doing this, here's where and they demoed it. So that's quite a good way to do it. I've seen it done as well, where people, if you have an event where you're going to have lots of people coming along, where it's been set up with a laptop, and they've said, right, sit down for a couple of minutes with me. I'll get you a cup of tea and a biscuit. Let me show you how it works, and let me sign you up here and now. So actually physically showing somebody how it works often works really well. Showing people on the app as well, again, we find that is pretty good if people can just kind of grab the phone and go, look, let me just show you how it works. So if you have any face-to-face, or if not necessarily in a large gathering, even if you've just got a few people, that tends to work really well. And also business, sort of, if you've got anyone that kind of does make any business purchase, or any businesses that have supported you, that tends to work quite well. And other than that, do you use WhatsApp at all for your supporters? Or
some of the local communities do. We're a network of 20 plus communities now, so some of the local communities do, but not but we don't do it nationally yet.
Right, okay. I mean, another thing you can do actually is you could refer other causes to us. So if you've got others in your network, you can refer them to us, and we will give you a referral fee for their first year that they're with us. So you can, if you go to the site and look, I think it's called Refer a Friend. So if you go on there, there's information. So that's a way of you getting a little bit extra money in as well. But yeah, it's a case of definitely face-to-face, definitely. Just, I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but just keeping on reminding people. Also, sharing successes is another really good one. So sharing on social or wherever, to go, look, I've just raised this amount, or this supporter is just, well, thank you to this person who's just raised this amount, that sort of thing. We also have, I can't demo it actually because I'm not logging in the right way, but we also have supporter communications as well. So once you have got supporters signed up, you can communicate with them, and you can do that through the app. Excuse me. And you can also do that through the site as well. We can send messages out to your supporters to keep them raising. That's when you have got supporters. What else is, if you've got a committee, doing a presentation at the committee. We've got presentations and guides, so doing a presentation showing people how it works. Oh, and another one that I get told quite a lot is people will sometimes do a little competition amongst their supporters. So, you know, everyone that signs up to support us this month will go into a draw to win a bottle of wine. So, you know, please sign up. Won't take you any time at all. And you know, you might win a bottle of wine or whatever, you know, whatever they might want. So encouraging people that way as well is another way to do it. Does that help?
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm just going to as well quickly mention Amazon Smile for people as well. So Amazon Smile is effectively the same as Easy Fundraising, but just for Amazon. To use Amazon Smile, you have to be a registered charity. So when they first launched Amazon Smile, initially we were sort of like, oh, okay, what is this going to mean? But if you're not a registered charity, you can't use Amazon Smile. So we came to an arrangement with Amazon, worked quite closely with them and have done for many years, is that if you are a registered charity and your supporters want to shop with Amazon, they can still access Amazon through our site, and we will simply send them to your Amazon Smile account, and they can raise for you for Amazon, and the donations will be paid through your Amazon Smile account. For all your other retailers, it just gets paid through your Easy Fundraising account. If you are not a registered charity and your supporters want to shop with Amazon, they just access Amazon through Easy Fundraising. We send them to normal Amazon, if you like, and they can raise a donation. So basically, it's the same donation rate. They just start at Easy Fundraising in the normal way, and we will send them where they need to go. And if you're with Amazon Smile, your Smile donations will get paid in your Amazon Smile account. If you're not a registered charity, your Amazon donations will get paid in your Easy Fundraising account. So hopefully that makes sense. So sometimes people say, oh, I can't raise with Amazon, but you can. Basically, it's the same donation rate regardless. You come to Easy Fundraising, we will send your supporters where they need to go. So you don't have to sort of communicate two different messages basically to supporters.
Thanks for that, Becky. Any other questions? No, okay.
Speaking into science.
yeah. I had to put myself on mute then because the dog that's sitting just down there started snoring very loudly. So apologies if that came through on the microphone.
No one would like to hear that though.
So
I bore the dog that much that it went to sleep.
But if there are any questions and people just can't think of them today, we'll share. It's all right. Again, we'll share the slides. If you send those through to me, we'll share those, and your contact details will be on there. We'll share those out kind of today or tomorrow or something like that. And people can just contact you directly.
They can indeed, and we're more than happy to help you. Any questions you've got, if we sometimes get it where people have their cause has got an Easy Fundraising account that's been set up ages ago and the person's moved on and they don't know the login details. It's like that. Just contact me and I'll sort it out for you. I'll just get you to re-register, and then I'll just merge your old details into your new one. So it's easily sorted. Just ask me and I'll get it sorted for you.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, that's good time. So if there are no other questions, I just want to say thanks to Becky for sharing the information there. There's some really useful stuff there that I didn't know about. So I hope for those of you that are already registered, there was something useful there. And for those of you who are not yet registered with Easy Fundraising, do have a look at it. Like I said, I was looking at my account this morning. It's like a little computer game. I feel competitive with myself. I bought a t-shirt. I bought a t-shirt from ASOS and I raised 8 pence. And it was great. So little bits like that, little increments, it all adds up at the end of the year. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Like I said, we'll get some information shared out to you via email. And if you've got any other questions, contact us directly or contact Becky. Brilliant.
Thanks everybody. Thank you.
Thank you everybody. Have a good day.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.